Right, Mohammed, Jamjoom is in Jordan's capital, Amman, and a reminder that's because the Israeli government's banned Al Jazeera from reporting inside Israel and in the occupied West Bank. Mohammed, Netanyahu, as we've heard, this isn't the end of the war.
That's right, Famida. You hear the rhetoric there from Netanyahu. He's sounding very defiant. He's saying the war will not end until Hamas lays down its weapons. Now, beyond that, you've also had many other politicians in Israel across the political landscape since it was announced that Yahya Sinwar had been killed, who have all suggested, including some from the opposition, that Israel will continue to be in Gaza for years to come and that this war has not even come close to ending. And then you have the statement, of course, from Hamas earlier in the day, which was also defiant in tone, saying that there can't be any kind of a ceasefire deal or any kind of a deal to get the hostages, the captives, out of Gaza in exchange for Palestinian prisoners unless the war is over. So that really means everything is at a deadlock. And what's interesting about that is because last night, after it was announced that Sinwar had been killed, and throughout the day today, you've had a lot of analysis in Israeli media, political analysts close to the government that are asking what exactly happens next and saying that this seems to be an opportune time for the Israeli government to try and enter into another kind of mediation or negotiation so that they can try to use the leverage that they have at this moment to release the remaining Israeli captives that are still being held in Gaza. Beyond that, you've also had in the last 24 hours many people continuing to come out into the streets, relatives of captives still in Gaza, saying the government needs to do more, take the opportunity of this particular moment to try and ensure that their loved ones can actually be released. But beyond that, what we're hearing from the Israeli government and from Hamas is that right now it doesn't seem that any deal or anybody's even going to entertain any kind of a deal until the fighting is over. That's on the Hamas side. On the Israeli side, they're saying they're not going to end this war.
Right. Mohammed, besides the demand that the hostages be released, that's an ongoing demand by the families of those captives. What's the reaction been from Israelis more broadly to the killing of Yahya Sinwar and some of the sentiment from Benjamin Netanyahu that the war continues?
So, Famida, on the one hand, you have many people in Israel that since the news broke that Sinwar was killed, that have been celebrating and that have been posting lots of videos of themselves celebrating. Some of the videos show people dancing in the streets or distributing food in the streets. You also have videos of people that are around their dinner tables with their families, popping champagne, toasting the fact that Sinwar was killed. You have all of these videos in which people are expressing extreme happiness that Sinwar was killed. On the other side of that, you have much more somber scenes, people that have come out into the streets of places like Tel Aviv, relatives of those captives we were talking about just a couple of moments ago. Since last night, they've been out in the streets of Tel Aviv. They come out week after week to try to put pressure on the government to do more to ensure that their relatives can be released from Gaza and return to their loved ones back in Israel. Now, we're expecting that at some point this hour, there is going to be a press conference held in Tel Aviv by relatives of captives still in Gaza. They are demanding that the government take advantage of this moment and try to enter into some kind of a negotiation to try to talk to mediators, to try to ensure there's a ceasefire so their loved ones can be returned to them. There is great concern on their behalf and other Israelis as well, saying that they're worried that if there is not some semblance of people searching for a deal, that there could be just complete chaos in Gaza, and they worry that that will endanger their loved ones even more. Famida?
Mohammed Jamjoom in Amman, thanks very much for that.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.